So in the last matchup for this UCL wrap-up, we have PSG versus Manchester City that is going to play on April 6th.
Oh yeah.
Nickname for this, a lot of people are calling it the El Clasico because two big giants as it pertains to money, and they're going to face off face to face.
Yeah, everybody knows about why they are where they are.
Yeah.
PSG, like, you know, we like to poke fun at them, but
Yeah.
they do have an impressive history. Players like Ronaldinho passed
Yeah.
through there back in the day, so they are a glamour team from Paris even before the money. But Man City, however, you know, they were the noisy neighbors of Manchester United.
Yeah.
Now they have a whole bunch of money now. They want to make some noise. They want to prove something in Europe.
Yeah.
Both teams have the same ambitions, so I think that's the appropriate name.
Yeah.
And both teams definitely, in a lot of ways, underperformed in Europe in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So both PSG and Manchester City have a lot to prove.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at PSG from the PSG about 2 years ago, their midfield is totally different now. With the likes of Di Maria, it's a lot more attacking wise.
Yeah.
With the likes of Zlatan as well, this being his last time playing for PSG, he basically said unless they change the Eiffel Tower to a statue of himself, he won't be playing for PSG at the end of the year. And I doubt the Paris government would do that. So this is Zlatan's probably last season with PSG, and we know he hasn't won this UCL title as yet, so he would really want to get this with PSG.
I can see the Zlatan memes coming in.
Yeah.
Zlatan wants Eiffel Tower and he gets it. I am Zlatan.
Yes.
Zlatan really wants that elusive Champions League trophy. PSG wants that Champions League thing to basically establish themselves under this new era.
Yeah.
Thiago Motta linking up with Di Maria and Lucas Moura and those guys. I think they have a really exciting team. The one weak area I have real issues with is David Luiz and Thiago Silva.
Because if you remember last year,
Yeah.
Champions League with David Luiz, a certain Luis Suarez just tore him apart in that game.
You don't know what you're going to get with this guy. Like,
Yeah.
on paper, at one point, him and Thiago Silva were, you know, touted as the best centre-back
Exactly.
player in the world.
Yeah.
I always had doubts about David Luiz, ever since his Benfica days.
Yeah.
I always thought he was a very good defensive midfielder. Rafa used him that way. I think he's better there. But he's very vulnerable. One, he'll have an excellent game. But I'm really surprised about Thiago Silva, though. He is exceptional. He was really great at AC Milan.
Yeah.
And if I think it's one area where that may really hurt them, it's there.
Yeah.
But they have a really solid midfield, and their ability to hold on to the ball is really impressive.
Yeah.
So I could see them taking advantage of a wounded Manchester City right now.
Yes, and as you said, wounded Manchester City in terrible form as it pertains to coming into this game, losing the Manchester derby as well, injuries, company, and you think a City with company, maybe they have a chance.
Yeah.
But a City without company, it looks as though majority of the team, they play with no heart. Otamendi looks like a totally different player when company is at his side.
Yeah.
Without him, Di Michelis in the mix, it just doesn't seem, against a Zlatan, against a Di Maria, it looks like easy pickings for PSG.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to exploit that team. Otamendi injured, he may not even play for Argentina in the upcoming fixtures.
Yeah.
Demichelis, well, he definitely looks like he's played his last season for
Yeah.
Manchester City.
Yeah.
Was a great player, unfortunately. Time catches up with everybody.
Yeah.
I believe Manchester City's form, we spoke about it continuously throughout the season. The over-reliance on Yaya Toure, Aguero, and company.
Yeah.
But also another player that is, I think, really missing is the influence of Pablo Zabaleta.
Yes.
I think that he really, not just defensively, but he always added to the offense
Yeah.
of Manchester City. And in the Manchester derby, you saw it. Even though they created opportunities, they were far from what they are capable of.
Yeah.
I think Aguero starting to feel the strain, and I think PSG could easily neutralize
Yeah.
Manchester City right now.
Yeah. The only good thing for Manchester City I could say is that Kevin De Bruyne will be back for this game, so that's somewhat of a relief for some of the Manchester City supporters. So PSG versus Manchester City on April 6th. I have to go with PSG. I just can't see Zlatan, Di Maria, even the likes of their defense as well, losing this one. So I'll go with PSG on this one.
PSG definitely. They're way more balanced from front to back. The only area, as I said before, is the centre-back pairing. But I believe the team collectively is good enough
Yeah.
to undo, as we said before, a wounded Manchester City.